Good morning and welcome to Nigeria Now, showing on your digital first Pan-African news network. As always, my name is Merciful Ajinamo, and we joined today by Adebayo Fajimi to discuss some topics on the newspapers. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
I'm good.
Okay, let's begin from the Daily Trust newspaper this morning. The banner headline there is Auditor General uncovers multi-billion Naira fraud in National Assembly. We have two writers. The first, 3 billion in Senate, 5.5 billion in House. And the second one, Rafsanjani says, it's shocking lawmakers are breaking laws. We know that the issue of corruption is something we've always talked about, especially when you were on the show sometime last month and when you spoke about how deep we are rooted in corruption in Nigeria. What's your reaction to this mystery that has been uncovered by an Auditor General?
Well, let me start by quoting later Professor Chino Achebe in one of his books, The Trouble with Nigeria, where he says corruption in Nigeria is what young men to goat. So you cannot separate the two. So it is so pathetic that we are still seeing this, and especially from those who are supposed to be the custodians of law, and you see them breaking the law. So corruption in Nigeria is like a blood, it's more or less a blood, to us, that something we cannot do away with. And the problem is, when somebody is being caught, they just get away with it. So they get away with it because you have political power, and nothing will be done. And until we begin to prosecute and whoever is being caught, face the rod of law, we will not make any progress regarding this. And even the current dispensation, I've been saying one of their one of their agenda is to fight corruption, to ensure that we reduce it and even to neutralize it, maximally. But still, we can still see the quantum of corruption going on in the administration, and nobody is saying anything. So anybody can just do anything, and so until we get to prosecute and whoever is being caught, whether you are the president, whether you are a senator or former governors, until we begin to prosecute and they face the wrath of law, they are being jailed and being embarrassed, this will not stop. And I think that is the way forward for Nigeria.
Okay, now that we have had this issue uncovered, and I know it's a news that's shocking to many Nigerians, don't you think something will be done about it going forward?
What can be done? We have had series of issues like this in the past. You see former governors becoming senators, from senators, ministers, and all of that. What has been done? I don't expect anything from this. So it's just I see it as a nomenclature. So nothing can be done about it, because if we are serious, those cases we have seen in the past, we should have deal with them decisively. And if Mr. President, just like he said, that is Mr. Integrity, really wants to fight this war, regardless of where you belong to, if you are caught, then you should be prosecuted and go to jail.
Okay. Still on the Daily Trust, we see on the very top there, gunmen kill father, 2 sons in Benue State. And that details can be found on page 43 of the Daily Trust. And then we see something there on page 52, that why APC should postpone February convention. That's coming from Kalu. And explain sources of your wealth, Adebanjo tells Akande Tinubu. And we can get all of that on Daily Trust. And then we see the Sultan of Sokoto says lack of trust, major challenge in COVID-19 vaccination. And that details can be found on page 3. Tiamin's 18 billion rice farm in Bauchi to employ 1,000 youth. And then insecurity, Bichi Emirate holds special prayer today. And Emir of Dora says why we gave Buhari's son title. All of that can be found on the Daily Trust. Move over to the Nigerian News Direct. The banner headline there is NDDC funding. Controversy trails recovery of $5.6 billion IOC's debt by federal government's committee. And we have a couple of riders there. And then you see a 10th anniversary, Third Fund sponsors 30,000 lecturers for postgraduate courses, and we can get that on page 2 of the Nigerian News Direct. And then see DMO offers 250 billion naira sukuk for subscription as debt rises to $92.6 billion, and all of that can be found on the Nigerian News Direct. Talking about this 10th anniversary, Third Fund sponsoring 30,000 lecturers for postgraduate courses. Would you say it's a good investment on the part of Nigerians?
Yes, it is. But at the end of the day, if they are being sponsored, how many of them will be glad to come back to Nigeria, or will be willing to work in Nigeria? So that's another issue. So if they are being sponsored, if you know what our dons are facing in the education sector, you will wait for Nigeria. So it is not, the investment is good, but what comes or what becomes the investment thereafter? So what come after the investment? So many of them will not be willing to come to Nigeria or even to work in Nigeria because of the system. So I think that is a good one. Thumbs up for that. But I think there is need for Nigeria to take a decisive step to make sure that we have a very quality and a good education system, that can abhor or contain our dons, so that they can do their work the way it should be done, so that we can have progress. Because without education, there is no how you can change the world, and the most powerful weapon to change the world is through education. So no meaningful development without giving critical attention to this sector.
Okay, that's right on that part. And then we see Access Bank holds court-ordered meeting on scheme of arrangement for restructure. That can be found on page 14. Move over to the Blueprint newspaper, and the banner headline there is APC National Chairmanship Debate. Let's end governors' domineering influence. That's coming from Yari. That can be found on page 6. We have three riders. The first, ruling party government opposed to local government autonomy. That's coming from Okechukwu. And then second, no, it's PDP governors. That's coming from PGF. And then CECPC slams Ayu Kalu 6 convention postponement. And then we see something underneath the picture of the day there. Osinbajo says we must ensure electorate's right of free choice. And that can be found on page 6. And then COVID-19 killed 192 persons in Oyo. That's coming from the commissioner. Dangote Cement lists 3 series CPs under 150 billion naira on FMDQ platform. And then we see FCTA spends 2.055 billion naira on electricity bills in 12 months. And that can be found on page 5. Ilorin title holder regains freedom after 7 days in captivity. From the very top there, we see at 79, Buhari blessing to Nigeria remains incorruptible. That's coming from Lawan and Oyetola. And then Saudi travel ban, NACON vows to protect share stakeholders' interest. We can get out on page 5. Nigeria's ventures platform raises $40 million after profit. That can be found on page 25 of the Blueprint. In 2021. 800 African students benefit from Huawei ICT training. That can be found on page 25 of the Blueprint newspaper. We move over to the business day. The banner headline there is Nigeria's COVID-19 cases hit 9-month high. We can get that on page 30 of the business day. And then besides that, race for investment dollars belongs to environment conscious firms. That can be found on page 30 as well of the business day newspaper. And don't forget to also stay updated on happenings in Nigeria and of course Africa on our website. That is www.tostvnetwork.com. And our social media platforms is right there on your screens for you to follow and stay updated. That is at TOS TV Network on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Again, our YouTube is right there for you to follow, like, and subscribe to our channel so you do not miss out on our amazing content. Thank you for watching The Nigeria Now. My name is Merciful Ajinmo. Do have a wonderful weekend.